Is this the part where we talk? Oh, yes. See, they can hear me. This episode of Philly Bry Night brought to you by Vidal's Extermination Services. We let nature handle it aggressively. Welcome, welcome, welcome once again, dear players, dear audience, to another thrilling session of Philly by Night. In fact, this is our last Emissaries session of Season 2. Bow, bow, bow! So, things are very spooky tonight in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the city of Philadelphia. Just before football season.
Oh, hell no. Oh, god damn. Oh, this isn't spooky. This is just a shit show from what I've been told.
It's
In character date for this session is August 13th. So this is exactly one night after you took on a bunch of black spiral dancers, Mr. Knox.
oh dear.
Indeed. So, before we start with all of the extra, let's start with how our favorite perfectly normal and not at all anything wrong kindred spend their wake up period. Hey, Ashton. Mr. Vanguard, how are you waking up this evening?
He was a little hungry. He went to hunt in his club. Why not, right?
Yeah,
You know,
success.
I mean, if we're, I mean, it's a haunted haven because of his predator type. He bought it pre-haunted, so
Makes perfect sense to me.
I don't know if that ghost is doing anything that's there, but hey, I mean, he's just here for a good time and maybe a long time. Well, question mark. We'll see what happens because he has some information he needs to share. So
Oh, goodness.
yeah, we'll see, right?
He.
He's like, I'm a little hungry. I'm gonna go downstairs and have a bite in my pajamas and then get dressed and leave.
So, Dr. Abarca,
Yes.
how does Dr. Beck wake up this brilliantly lovely evening?
Well, Dr. Beck wakes up. Nothing's really changed. Just feeling about the same per usual. Go through checking on all the patients and everybody, and then put on their street clothes and head out.
Mr. Knox,
Hello there.
how are you waking up this evening?
I realized just now I never rolled anything. So one moment,
So let's find out.
find out.
The answer is not at all.
Let's do the dice nut.
He survived the Garou. Thank you very much.
Barely.
Nope. Nobody died except a bunch of black spiral dancers.
Ew, stinky.
Oh. Very hungry, apparently.
Okay, so Sharky wakes up from battle starving.
Yeah, pretty much, because I was already at hunger. Yeah, I'm at hunger 5.
Sharky goes back to sleep.
I'm not. I haven't gone past hunger 5, so I'm just really hungry.
Okay. So Sharky is like full freaking frenzy mode.
Uh huh.
How's he gonna try to eat?
I guess I'm gonna intimidate some people and then call the cleanup coterie again. Have them on standby.
Well, that's good. So roll that beautiful bean footage then, home slice. I want your hunting roll first, and then I want your frenzy roll.
Luckily, my willpower's not too bad. I don't have a lot of it, but I got 3. Um. Okay. 4 successes. And no messy, so that's good.
Yeah, so the hunting roll is the hunting roll is a success. Now roll me that frenzy check.
That's not so much of a success. Uh-oh!
No, it is not. So you do manage to get somebody that you've intimidated up to your office, yeah. But you are not a clean eater this evening. Not only are you not a clean eater, you pounced upon this poor soul with absolute ferocity. You would be making your gangrel forebears proud. And once you've dealt with the hunger, you're still hungry after the first one, but a much more manageable 3.
Hmm. Now it's gonna be harder with the shark teeth from his frenzy. Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, you are calling the city service anyway, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I could just go beat somebody up while they come deal with it, maybe.
If you're calling on one, it might not hurt to call on both.
Yeah, I'll call on both. But actually, I may not need to call. Can I? What will my contact in the Bruno Scarfo do to help me hide a
I don't
body?
hear you, Chandler.
Oh dear, what happened? Can you hear me now? What happened? Can you hear me
I
now?
still don't hear you, which means it may be a me problem.
John, can you hear me? John. Okay.
While we're fixing this
Do more
technical
talkies.
issue, here's a word from our La Sombra sponsors. Wait a minute. Who let them in here?
Nathaniel again? Since when did you have money?
Wow.
Sorry, a bit of Friedrich came through there.
I just have to say, take a waka waka off a short pier.
Waka waka!
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us?
Going? Well, you can't hear me, so that's not going to help.
Just when in doubt, first rule of IT, unplug it and plug it back in and see if that fixes it, right?
I mean, that is the first rule of IT.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Try now.
Can you hear
Hello?
us?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Well,
Who let the damn La Sombra in the recording studio?
I don't know. Who did, darling?
Not me. I'm playing a Toreador, remember?
But you have been a La Sombra. This is your curse.
No. Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby. IT hates me enough as it is.
I am storyteller now, apparently.
Oh, no. I rebuke you in the name of Cain. Amen.
Sorry about that, folks. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. But for the time being, hey, Sharky,
Hi.
old buddy, old pal, old friend. So you did kind of a fucky wucky.
Just a tiny bit of a fucky wucky. How much would my contact in the Bruno Scarfo help me out with?
That depends. Do you want to owe the city or do you want to owe the mob?
I can owe the mob. It's just a few mortals. It's an investment.
Are you with us, G'day?
Yee.
Excellent. So we are debating as to whether or not we want to call the city or the mob.
I mean, would you rather owe the city? Because you'll owe them anyway for the cleanup. Or would you rather owe for the cleanup and then also owe the mob?
Well, in theory, the mob would be good for cleanup. And I can owe the mob, and that could be an interesting story beat for Sharky.
I
then-
need you to know, if you use the city services, you are not at the mercy of the dice.
I'll use the city services.
Like, it's not a terrible idea. I just need you to know, if you use the city services, you are not at the mercy of the dice bot. They will just clean it.
Are we saying we don't trust the dice bot for me? Is that what we're saying?
I'm saying you sure as heck shouldn't trust the dice bot for you. Have you seen the way
Nobody.
it's been rolling?
Nobody needs to trust that dice bot. Nobody.
Like, did you see what it was rolling when you guys were fighting Black Spiral Dancers?
It gave me one good roll. It gave me one good roll.
Yeah,
And
that's like your one for the month.
yeah, it gave me good rolls this morning in a different thing, but
Tell me I'm wrong. You get like one good roll a month.
I get like one. You're right. I don't do well with I don't do well with rolls. So yeah, I'm gonna call the city services for the cleanup, and then yeah, I'm gonna go beat somebody up in a back alley after. Sharky is stressed.
Oh. So, pick up the phone, call them.
He picks up the phone. He forgets how to use a phone for a minute because he is a little old. Hits the button again. It rings. I'm assuming it rings over to. Oh no!
Hi!
Hi. Which
Hello
one is this?
there! Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Sunshine Cleaners, you've reached Sifra.
Sifra, darling. Uh, so I have. You're the between you and Ron. You're the scarier one. I
Oh,
have.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
I think he already knows. Um, I had a bit of a mess. Um,
Oh,
um, one of my clients, um, uh, may have taken off a bit more than they could chew, and then I might have taken a bit more than I could chew. Um,
oh. Like, is it a big mess or is it just like a little mess?
I mean, it's in my haven. It's not like other people saw it, so it's a little mess. Just one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can come over and do stuff. Did you get enough or do you need more?
Um, I think I can feed myself for the rest. I do need more, but I think I can feed myself for the rest. I've got a meeting I have to go to, so I'll just beat someone up in a back alley.
Oh, that sounds like fun. You should come sparring. You like to do sparring, right?
I love sparring.
Ooh.
Wait, who are we sparring with?
Do you like knives?
Normally I prefer punching.
Oh. I don't think I'm supposed to spar punching people because the last time I tried, I accidentally punched a hole.
Well, I can learn how to use knives if you have more fun doing that. We can do that. I need to train in melee anyway.
That would be fun. I can show you how to throw them so that you can beat stuff from a distance.
Beat stuff from a dis. Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go and I'll bring some stuff and I'll come clean up because Rowan is working on a super secret project. Okay, bye!
Goodbye.
Click.
Well, I'm trying to think through if I said any massacre. I just said a little mess, so that's fine. Sharky is just like, oh boy. Um, Now he at this point he's going to because I imagine at his haven where he does most of his loan stuff, which is actually at the casino. Um, Again, I feel like I need to point that out. Because he owns one of the two casinos. Um, he's gonna leave his like keys at the front desk and say, if you see a scary lady or a gentleman that is described like Rowan, Let them into my penthouse. Let them into my penthouse. They're guests of mine. And then he's gonna be on his way to go beat somebody up in a back alley.
He he. I am being told that it actually does not matter that you only rolled to slake one hunger because you frenzied like a mother trucker enough to splatter this individual's blood fracking everywhere. You are once again, my friend, a member of Club Zero.
Yay!
So you are fortunate that we have other individuals to help me remember things. Because I would have just had you kill the guy, made a mess, and still need to slake two more hunger.
Yay! I like being at Club Zero. I'm gonna waste it with a blood surge in 5 minutes.
So, how is everyone getting to Eastern State Penitentiary?
I probably shouldn't take a limo again. I do that too often. So, would it be slightly less conspicuous if I took something, low key, something that everybody could have, like a Tesla?
I mean, it's probably better than your standard limo.
Eh. Sharky's gonna take a Tesla then, and he's gonna drive it.
Is it? Is it a truck?
Let's say it's a truck. Yeah, actually.
Okay, okay. It's real and it's steel and it gives you manly feels. It costs quite a buck and it's ugly as fuck. Your super cyber wheels.
Woo! Sharky's the kind of a-hole who would own a Cybertruck. Sharky's that kind of a-hole.
Sharky is that kind of a hole. And like, he wouldn't just have a plain steel Cybertruck, he'd have one of the ones that's like sprayed rose gold or some such nonsense.
Just out of curiosity, we could say asshole here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's make sure there wasn't a language change.
No. That is a valid question from our peanut gallery. Does your manly cyber wheels have nuts on them?
No, of course not. Sharky has some level of class.
You know what? I'll take that. So you're taking a Tesla. How are you getting there,
Uh,
Monsieur Vanguard?
He's probably going to drive himself. In his very nondescript 2000 Toyota that's like just solid black.
I like it. Just
Considering
Toyota.
he got a message from someone and is a little more concerned about flying under the radar than he normally would be himself.
Yes.
So he's like, yeah, I don't need to deal with this shit tonight. I'm taking my nondescript car.
And Dr. Dr. Beck's office isn't that far from the penitentiary, so he's just going to take his Chevrolets.
Chevrolets is good. We appreciate Chevrolets. So, You arrive at the penitentiary, you go downstairs in that weird janitorial closet, but the individual that you see isn't Lord Bridgerton. Vanguard. You recognize this individual. You've met them before. In spite of the fact that he wears a hooded cloak and a friar's mantle, and a mask covering his face. You know who this is. This is the big boss. This is the master of all 7 sanctuaries. Would you like to introduce your coterie to Senor Santiago?
Yes, I would. Ah, Senor, I didn't know you were going to be here this evening. It's good to see you again. And he nods in respect to the Senor. I suppose I should introduce you. This is Sharky. Sharky, this is the Senor. He is sort of head of operations here. And this is Dr. Beck.
Sharky, upon being told who this is, would Sharky with 3 dots in etiquette uh know the proper etiquette for meeting the head of an organization like this? Like, what should I do? Should I
Like,
bow? Should I?
you may do whatever it is you feel like. Rumor is that Senor Santiago doesn't stand much on ceremony, but this is a gentleman who is essentially the prince for 7 different cities.
Yeah, Sharky's gonna take a very deep bow. Jameson Knox at your service,
I
Lord
mean,
Santiago.
functionally, he would be like the pack priest of all pack priests.
He's an archbishop.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sharky is immediately going to take a huge deep bow, maybe even take a knee. Jameson Knox at your service, Lord Sharky, Lord Santiago.
I think you killed John.
And Dr. Beck will bow his head. Senor,
Good evening. You have all been in the city for more than a year. See? No, not more than a year. This season has only lasted 3 months.
It has been a quick few months, and much has happened in the last 3 months. But yes, my lord, it feels like forever since we first came.
Quite an interesting city, if you ask me, Senor.
Yes. It would have to be. Run by the people it is run by. And reports of your exploits have come in.
I would hope they are glowing.
the prince of the Lehigh Valley?
That was unfortunate.
It was very much unfortunate, and I made sure to clear it up with the powers that be, and with the special visitor the city had at the time. I think we've got all of that squared away. He was breaking.
And
He ended up breaking the traditions in the process, and it seemed like no one was batting an eye with what
the
happened to him.
casino.
The casino? Oh, um, well, I made an attempt to purchase it because we had been prescribed a mission to deal with what was seeming to be a breach of the masquerade nearby it, and my best way of handling it was making certain that they couldn't influence it any longer. So we managed to wrap that up, give us enough influence to be able to put a stop to those breaches, and even bring the prosecutors into our society properly.
And the prince is the Prince of Philadelphia.
Would it be apparent by Vidal's language that he's using that he has not talked to the prince yet about things?
Accurate. Yes.
Okay. I think Ashton would find that strange.
As well he
Considering-
should, because the prince is his son-in-law after all.
Not even that. I think it would be weird that Vidal would just walk to Ashton, knowing Vidal in that sort of leadership role, and it being his son-in-law, definitely is like, why are you not asking him all of this? But he's not going to say that quiet part out loud, but he's put two and two together that something's off.
And my childer.
She had quite spoken with me. We were putting together a bit of a, how can we put this? A tongue lashing, I believe was the word that she used. But we ceased communications on that about a week ago, and I haven't heard from her since.
Oh, there is good reason for that. I was just wondering why we were so uninformed.
That is an excellent question.
There are hunters in the city. Are you aware?
Recently, I had been made aware of their influence last night. We had heard. We had heard. We had heard some things about them, but neither here nor there. I thought it was just the typical. Until apparently last night, I had heard that there was a much greater confluence of them than I had thought. At the Gangrel gather last night, which I had planned on reporting all of the information as soon as I got through with it, but well, I was quite injured in a battle with some lupines, and I immediately took a nap for the night. I was indeed going to report that information tonight. The extent was far greater than I had even potentially imagined. I'm currently looking into how far their tendrils dwell. No one had let me know to the exact extent their tendrils had reached.
Well, of course they would not. They are Camarilla after all, and we are not.
Do you receive a? I did receive a letter from one of the. I believe she's one of the. They're one of the Ancilla of the city of the Tremere, letting me know that there was an increased presence with the hunters, but to my notice, it didn't seem to scream that there was an incident. More just that they had picked up on heightened um, numbers of them in the city. Uh,
Apparently, their chantry was exploded.
They're stronger than I thought.
Which is fine. The Tremblers like to keep their affairs to themselves, particularly as it comes to their churches.
did I hear that correctly? Did he say Tremblers
Tremblers, yes.
instead of Tremere? Okay.
Yes, they are the Tremblers. He's an elder. Cut him some slack. I mean,
Oh,
no.
I was more of did we start talking about something else and did I miss it?
Nope. He called Tremere Tremblers.
To be fair, it's not wrong. I mean, half of them are scared of their own shadow. Um,
Having met the shadow for the Ancilla, I can completely understand the sentiment.
if I had known, if I had known they had been so, I forget the Camarilla refused to communicate accurately or to their full extent. Only when situations get so dire do they actually call upon help from the outside.
Mhm.
My apologies, my lord. I've not been asking the right questions clearly.
Can you guess what my particular job was? 2 nights passed.
2 nights ago,
Yes.
he's going to look to Ashton because Ashton knows him better.
Can you repeat what was said, G'day?
Vidal is asking if they'd care to guess what he had to do 2 nights ago.
Ashton would just politely shrug his shoulders and I don't know, senor.
The reason you fell out of contact with my Alicia is because my Alicia has been in torpor.
Is it to do with the hunters?
These hunters you have just learned about have apparently kidnapped my son-by-law.
Oh, that's not good. In the
It is not.
slightest.
No, it is not. Given what one knows about this type of religious fanatic,
There may be no rescue for him. Kidnapped, dead. Who can be sure?
That's not good for anyone involved. And I take
It
it
is not.
your child got knocked into torpor in the process.
Apparently, when the news was given, my Alicia was so distraught that she began to lose control. You are aware of what we can do when we are not in control of ourselves. See?
Indeed.
Acutely.
Just enough control to send the Ancile out of the room. So the only individual for her to take her emotions out upon was herself.
I'm impressed by even the restraint that took on her end.
I also had to wake up the sheriff, who had apparently been out hunting with my son-by-law.
Yes. In the letter the Ancilla Tremere sent me, she did mention we'd probably need to start hunting in groups, as there's something like a drone about.
Yes, several, or so they tell me. Currently, we have the technology to wipe out any data of anyone that comes within a certain square footage of the penitentiary. So, perhaps less worrisome.
But still worrisome enough.
Indeed.
It is definitely going to mean that we need to fly under the radar and make sure we take care of each other in certain types of situations. Don't you agree?
I just have one question. Why is this the first we're hearing about? Me and Beck are hearing about this. Why is this the first we're hearing about this? If we need to hunt in groups, Ashton, darling.
Darling.
First off, I didn't know you thought of me that way, Sharky, but that's not the place for now is not the place for it. Because I didn't trust the rats not getting intercepted.
That is understandable. Some of us maintain familiars, so to speak, in which we can draw from.
Can these hunters, they have unlocked the skill to speak to animals?
No, but I would think it would be entirely. Now, correct me if I misunderstood this, G'day, with the network. If you don't have certain abilities, you're not sending messages through the animals with the power, you're just tying a note around them, right?
Oh, you don't have to have a power. You can just talk to a rat and assume it will eventually return somewhere
Oh,
and talk to someone who has the power.
okay. Well, then he looks, even if that is the thing we're going with, he kind of looks over. It wouldn't have necessarily mattered. I don't think either of you can talk to animals, and it wouldn't have mattered if we didn't see each other, because I don't know how anyone else would have got the message to you without being face to face anyway.
Fair enough. Anyway,
And with things being so very busy in this city. I understand you have all adopted a number of Duskborn.
Indeed, he's doing a wonder on my taxes.
Sí, señor.
They're very adorable. They use their litter boxes. They're house trained. Can we keep them?
I have no issue with the Duskborn.
Oh, thank God. I thought this was going to be one of those times where you told us that they're heresy, their very existence is heresy, and they were going to be destroyed. Oh, thank God.
Oh, it is, but they cannot help being what they are any more than you can.
Fair enough.
The book tells us that the end of all things comes during the era of the Duskborn, the era of the Caitiff. But it also cautions us that we should be kind to these unfortunates. For it is they who will not hear the call.
The call of the Gehenna War.
The call that begins the only war that matters.
I would also like it to be known. All of the things that we have done, including the casino and the prince happening, we did report to Lord Bridgerton. So I don't know if it got back to you, but I definitely filed a report with Lord Bridgerton in person. I told him about these things. I
Oh
just
yeah,
wanted that to be put out there.
we'll see. Where do you think I got most of my information about your exploits from?
Okay, good. Okay, good. I just wanted to make certain it was properly disseminated. Whew, that takes a load off my shoulders.
Is anyone actually going to see if the prince is still, kicking around?
Kicking around?
Alive. Or unlived.
No one is quite certain.
I am not super familiar with the things that go on in those types of laboratories, but quite frankly, from the little bit I've gleaned over my travels, it's not pleasant.
This is my understanding as well. And he's gonna pull out a picture of Morgan Freeman and put it on the table. That's what the hunter looks like, is Morgan Freeman.
I
That's the
was
face
so
claim.
confused.
That's
I
the
was so
face
it's
claim.
like, why is this man pulling out the voice of God?
That's the face claim. Just a picture of Morgan Freeman hits the table. This man is, to my information at least, one of the few that has not been dealt with.
Hmm. And he is what was the name that Sharky heard last night? Which was actually 3 nights ago in real life.
Benji Bancroft.
So this is Bancroft.
See,
Hmm. Well, now that I have a face that puts in the name, it might be easier to actually locate him. I was looking for any funding, any movement of money that was related to him, but a name might be easier to trace. Her face
he
might be easier to trace.
Bancroft I knew this man.
Me.
He came from Nolans. But Bancroft was not his name. The Ancilla tell me that Bancroft did not exist until 5 or 6 years ago.
Senor, when you say you know him from New Orleans, do you mean you know him like from a different time or recently?
He
Within the
was
last
younger.
younger. Okay, that's just making sure there wasn't no some weird magical bullshit going on.
He was younger then. He is older in this photograph. Somerset, I think, was the name when he was in New Orleans.
Somerset. And Shark.
William.
Yeah. Sharky's gonna take out a pen and start like writing down things. He may still be using old bank accounts tied to that name. I'll check those too.
For you to be careful, Sharky.
I
Could
do not recall him being particularly faith-based. It is hard to hold on to any kind of faith when your job is in espionage.
Spy.
Yes,
So, hmm. So then he'll know how to hide his. Was he working for one of us at the time?
I do not believe so.
If his job was in espionage, how do you know what his job was? What was he doing?
He worked in intelligence. I heard him give 8 different names to 8 different individuals. But the doorman called him Monsieur Somerset.
Hmm.
And there was a lovely young lady who called him William.
So he has quite a well-crafted mask and is capable of crafting new ones on the fly. It's gonna make it harder to pierce.
Ah, he is older now, and old men, we make mistakes.
Hmm.
do we know if he has any other has any ties to any groups amongst the hunters that I've heard are out there?
Are out in Nolans, that information is lost to time, I think. Here, in Philadelphia, are you aware of the Society of Saint Leopold?
I would imagine Ashton's been around enough and has 3 dots in a cult. He could piece together what that's about.
Yeah, that's like a super, 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 super.
Well known one historically.
Yeah. It's Vatican backed.
Sharky, I hate to tell you, he may be getting backing from the church. And when I mean the church, I mean the one with the Pope.
Hmm. Vatican-based funding. It's harder to trace, but not impossible. If
Advise
he's
maybe don't attempt it.
No, it means we have a place to start. Rather than looking through central banks, they usually funnel their funds through Cyprus. So I could contact some of my bank contacts there, locate locate whatever church funds have been funneled to the United States and sift through it there. It proposes risks, but nothing I haven't dealt with. It'll just look like an auditor's taking a look.
Your adopted sire must be so proud.
Hmm. He'd be even prouder if he found out I killed a black spiral dancer last night. He is both simultaneously one of the most violent men I know and also one of the most astute.
I, why?
Why did I kill a black spiral dancer last night?
Yes.
They were marching on gangrel territory. I was with the gangrel. I tried to call my shadow, but I did not have any cell reception. So, um, I made the executive decision to rip them to shreds, as I always do, along with Naomi.
Ah, she is a force to be reckoned with, that one.
She is indeed. She scares me.
Probably wise.
I do enjoy her presence, her company, but I prefer to enjoy her company from a distance, specifically behind, like, a glass wall of some kind. Let's make it plexiglass because that's harder to break.
It is wise that an individual of your age and abilities be a bit wary of your elders.
The other elders there felt we needed to fight, and I wasn't going to run. Mm, we are gangrel, we are pack, and while I have many aspects that make me different from the rest of them, they are still my clan. So I aided them where I could.
Good.
That being said, and he lifts up his shirt and shows us like claw marks down the front that have well, now they fully healed thanks to some people spending channel points, but we're gonna say are like starting to heal for narrative purposes, um, that have like been like ripped across. He's like, this ruined one of my best shirts, so it was a little bit out of anger. Puts it back down.
Which elders do you speak of?
They're no longer relevant, but they were Mori and Jed. Mori and Jedediah.
A a bird woman who turns into a vulture,
Yes,
and a large man who smells like a bear.
yes.
We we have met. He did not offer you what he calls blood shine, did he?
He has in the past. I've always declined.
Again, probably wise.
No, they just gave me.
Shin looks over at Sharky like, you really gotta say that in front of Vidal of all people, and then immediately, before Vidal can catch it, just wipe the face away.
and his name is not Jedediah. It is Jotkus.
Well, Judkis. Judkis. That makes sense considering his age. I thought Jedediah was a too modern of a name. Not surprised he took it though.
An old knight. Why is it you say they are no longer relevant?
They're leaving the city. They felt
Oh?
the pull.
Oh.
They could resist it no longer.
This is a loss.
Indeed. Jed waited until Maury could feel it, and they left together.
This is a loss.
My thoughts precisely.
So, what are your plans moving forward?
Well, for me, dealing with the hunters, I'm going to attempt to trace their resources from the Vatican. It gives us a central place to start, see where it's being distributed at, the amount that's going here to Philadelphia, and where it's being spent. I don't know about the Dr. Beck or Ashton, but that's my plans.
I find I may best be served once we figured our location to do a little bit of espionage of my own.
This is good to know. Doctor, I am told that you bested a toreador at painting?
Yes, senor. It would seem that I did. It was a fluke. I know not how, but it might be because he wasn't actually any kind of talented, but
But
That was putting it politely, Beck.
but the good doctor is indeed quite talented.
I mean, from what I found out, the man bought his way into the Artist Guild. And while I am arose by in a lot of ways, I wouldn't even stoop so low to buy my way into somewhere I know it didn't belong.
Ah, but they do have so much they need to do to save face. Luckily, when you have a face like mine, there is not much to save. I would like a wits and awareness across the board, please.
yes.
Uh-oh. Oh shit. Oh no. Ew. Okay.
Is this one of those? Are we supposed to laugh? Are we supposed to?
No, it's whether or not you notice something. So it's a sliding scale. You literally can't bestial fail this.
That's good.
Oh, you want to bet?
Rolls negative dice.
If I can find the dice roller, where did it go? Where did it go? It was just here. Where did it go? That found it. Oh, I'm at Hunger Zero.
Oh goodness gracious!
Four with the crit.
Great balls of fire. Okay, so I can only see parts because my Discord is being a butt. But it looks like Sharky got 2.
Dr. Beck got 4 no crit, and I got 4 with crit.
Okay. So 2. For some reason it looks like dirtier than usual in here. And it's not like dirt. You can't entirely place it, but it just feels more run down.
Hmm. Huh.
4 with no crit. There are pretty big spider webs, like everywhere. And they don't look like decor, like they're not Halloween spider webs. These are spiders. And 4 with a crit. In one of those spider webs, there is an absolutely massive, the size of your hand, spider.
And Ashton's
Wearing
6'2" and beefy, so if it's the size of his hand, he's got big hands.
wearing what appears to be knitted leg warmers. Weird.
Senor, do you plan on staying for a while?
See,
Oh, excellent.
Miha will declare praxis in her own name.
A Nosferatu prince? That's going to cause quite the stir.
A 16-year-old Nosferatu prince.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Can't wait to see people get their feathers in a ruffle for that.
So, this is a bit of a warning. Your job is about to get a lot more interesting.
Senor, would you like us to stay closer to your mija?
Oh, see. Stick close. Be aware also that when this happens, there are those who will attempt to have her removed.
Well, with us backing her, with my wealth, Ashton's social influence, and Dr. Beck's medical expertise, we may be able to give her the backing that she needs, along with any of the ancilla that are going to aid her.
There is also the matter of your coterie may be growing.
Another
I
member?
mean, we do operate as a well-oiled machine, but I'd be happy to have some extra hands. It never hurts.
This is an individual who will assist in matters as he is already quite familiar with the way that Alicia operates. Apparently, he was part of an information network down south.
I'm already intrigued.
A useful man. Then true.
Ventru.
Senor, do we perchance know this gentleman?
I do not believe so. He is a very recent addition to our sanctuary. But he knows Alicia. And Alicia knows and already trusts him.
Well, I suppose at this point, what's his name?
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. Pharaoh. I don't know that name.
Ian Pharaoh.
Ian Pharaoh. Hmm. Intriguing.
He
Well,
came to us from the movement, which is unusual.
not so unusual. In New York, quite a few anarchs wound up joining our side.
Very few of them desire to live under the type of rules that we do.
That is uncommon. I will admit to that. Usually more of the aggressive types.
See,
As long as they're for the cause and not going to be more of a problem than a help, I'm all for it.
this is unlikely. I am not sure they are 100% in belief. But he would believe quite heavily in Alicia's version of things, in John's version of things. He may not be a believer in the book or in the prophecies, but this we can work around.
As far as I'm concerned, Senor, as long as you believe he would be helpful to the cause, even while not necessarily believing in it, but not by all means, that is good enough for me.
I think he would be useful, and I think he would prefer this type of position as opposed to rotting away underground.
I would welcome the aid.
Good. I will have to see what we can do about getting him here.
A car would probably work. Or a train. That might work too. Maybe an air. No, let's not do airplanes.
I was about to say, Sharky, that wasn't your brightest moment, was it?
Private jet?
I could do a private jet, couldn't I? I have enough money to do a private jet now. I can do multiple private jets all at once.
Why would you need multiple private jets to transport one person?
Pollution?
I was going to say a decoy in case someone caught on what was going on in the airplane.
That could work too. That's a more legitimate reason. Not the reason I was going to go for though, you know. My thought was, you know, causing problems. I have fun doing that sometimes.
Which is
Oh,
why I'm here.
why? Has this assignment become boring?
Oh, not at all. This has kept me out of trouble. There's a reason why they sent me here up from what was the one that they were in, the Virginia location.
Norfolk.
Norfolk. There's a reason why they sent me here up from Norfolk. They knew it was going to be interesting enough to keep me out of trouble. It also separated me and Michelle. So, you know, I think that was the other reason. But
And why would they want to separate you from Michelle?
Did I not mention how he was one of the most violent men I've ever met? We're bad influences on each other.
I can believe this. See.
Anyway, I really need to stop using that voice. Sharky's voice got a more southern voice. Anyway, is there what else needs to be talked about? Hmm.
Senor, aside from keeping an eye on Madame Alicia, is there any other tasks that you wish or require us to complete?
I have been told that there are cupola flowers growing here.
Asha just looks and turns his head. Are you kidding me?
I am not.
Why would they grow in Philadelphia, of all places? That's interesting.
My understanding is that Philadelphia is an interesting place.
These last few months have definitely proven to be true.
There is also an individual you may want to keep an eye out for, Dr. Beck. My child speaks of a baby dragon.
A baby
Apparently,
dragon.
the individual responsible for the cupola flowers is also responsible for creating. Well, I could not make heads or tails of it, but uh, apparently no one is quite sure whether this is a child or some new form of gargoyle.
Did they make the Metasaurus?
This is my understanding that it was the same dragon, not the baby, the one who created it.
So, investigate that lineage is what I'm hearing.
It would do a service, I think.
Indeed. Do you have the name of this baby that I need to keep an eye on?
The baby is Drew.
Drew?
I believe so. She is yellow hair.
Blonde, yes. I will see what I can find out about this, Drew.
Uh, Currently, this potential gargoyle, is being housed with the neonates.
I will speak with the Oracle and see if I can get an invite.
Oh yes, this would be a good start, I think. You are familiar with the court oracle, then, Dr. Beck?
Yes, we have worked together with a few patients as well as some of the uh, Dustborn that we have brought into our fold.
Good, good. This is an important connection to make. Mix Leclerc often sees things between lines I weren't even aware existed. That is, I think, where we will put our focus. Alicia's practice. The Kupala flowers. This baby dragon. Dr. Abarca, what is it that you know about Koldunic sorcery?
That I know about what? I apologize.
Koldunic sorcery.
Oh, I'm gonna have to roll for that.
I mean, I'm going to set it at a fairly low difficulty because it's a very Tsmeetsy thing.
Hmm. What would the roll be? And I'll pass that along.
I'll go with int and occult.
Instant occult. Okay.
Be int and occulty, mother truckers.
Jesus Christ, good day.
What?
The voice of God as a hunter, and here we are.
Yeah.
That's a 8 pool with a 2 hunger.
Ooh, lore dump. Who's ready for hyperfixation? That's right, it's me. Where are you, Dicebot?
I rolled it. It's 3.
Would you like to spend a willpower?
Yeah, go ahead.
4.
Nice.
Better than it was.
A 4 is better than a 3. Yes, indeedy. So, you are aware that there is a specific kind of blood sorcery that is available primarily to Tzimisce. They call it Koldunic magic, and with it, they control elemental properties.
I will pass that along as knowledge that I have.
Excellent. So,
Wait. Y'all can control fire?
Some can, others cannot. It's all what you learn.
Ashton
am
is very
aware.
much looking bemused at Sharky being with the parent quote unquote organization as long as he has, and has never met a Colding before. And Ashton, being as occultish as he is, just smirks.
I happen to know of at least one fire Khaldun in the city. At Gurn. The other, of course, is dead. I see that face, Chandler. What's happening? The other, of course, is dead.
The other, of course, is dead. And the fact that there's somebody in the city who can actively control fire does not make Sharky feel good. Is there a way that people can control water? Just curious. Is there a way people can control water? Can more,
Yes.
Depends on your focus of elements.
can more people choose that element instead of fire? Fire just seems dangerous, you know?
To my knowledge, many Khaldun's choose fire for particularly that reason.
Also, it's all very dangerous if you're powerful enough in the art of controlling the element you have.
I mean, even Earth Khaldun's can do massive amounts of damage.
It's one of those things that's very much on the temperament of the wielder, not really the ability itself to do it. Sharky.
I still don't like it. I'm allowed to not like things, Ashton. That's normal.
You and normal?
Didn't know that that could exist in the same sentence, but apparently tonight it can. Who'd have thought?
I'm a fairly normal person. I don't do a lot of abnormal things.
I think your porpoise pokers would say otherwise.
Porpoise pokers?
He turns into a fish.
Not a fish, a dolphin.
Fish.
A fish.
But then why do they call you Sharky?
Because I make predatory loans. I'm a venture capitalist. I
No,
also killed and drowned multiple ghouls while I was in New York.
you are a gangrel capitalist. See?
Why does everyone think this is not normal? This is a thing that happens.
Only with you.
Which I guess in your world it is normal, so who are we to argue?
Uh, there were business gangrel who funded the Anarch movement. This happened. That is a thing that happened. I'm normal. Why does everyone look at me like I'm crazy?
The fact that your voice went up 3 octaves is indicative of why people look at you like you're crazy, Sharky.
He took on a Mad Hatter effect there, didn't he, Ashton?
Just a little.
Oof.
And I'm the English one.
Strange.
Look, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have been I have been doing this my entire life, and in my personal issues, oh package, uh, in my personal concerns, I was not even originally, I don't think, supposed to be. I was an accidental child. We all know this. I was an accident baby.
Eh,
Name a gang girl who isn't, though.
I mean, I've met a couple who were very much intentional embraces, but it was for very specific reasons.
I mean, I think he just thought I'd die in there in the shovel pit. I just happened to be one of the ones that came out. So, you know.
I mean, fair enough. It could have arguably been worse. You could have just died, and we wouldn't be having this conversation, and that would make me quite sad.
You said that with such a touch of sarcasm, Ashton.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is just my sarcasm face that I can't ever turn off.
there is a bunch of loud squeaking just outside the door.
Ashton will go check the door.
There are several rats holding what appears to be a bottle, like a flask shaped bottle, of what appears to be blood.
Is anyone hungry? Does anyone order a snack?
Senor, is this delivery for you?
And he'll pick it up like it's about to explode. You know what I'm talking about. He's gonna pick it up like this
Hmm.
and then open it gingerly. And give it a sniff and then close it back and hold it out in two fingers. I think this is for you, Gangrel.
I'm. I don't know why this is for me. I'm not hungry. I literally.
Open it.
Eat, eat, eat.
The instant you get that cap off, like it is virulently alcoholic.
Oh, he sent me some. He sent me some bloodshine. Oh, I am so. I am. I love that man so much. Oh, that's strong.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dear God, why? Why would you drink it right now, Sharky? In the middle of a meeting, you buffoon!
You never say no to a package. And I'm not drinking all. Just a taste. Just a taste.
Just enough to sand the edges smooth, yes?
Yeah. That's strong.
See, my brother used to drink it like Humans drink water.
You had a brother?
See,
Was was Jed your brother?
no.
Okay. Very concerned.
Ow! How dare you?
My brother's name was Elias Thatcher.
I'm I'm sorry for your loss.
It has only been a couple months. The last death of the war for Philadelphia.
Then
Well,
I'm doubly sorry.
the last death on our side.
Then I'm doubly sorry. I know what it's like to be right there at the end and lose everything. Or at least it feels like you lost everything.
If you want to see some of them jump, just make the sound as you are walking behind them. Plat, 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 plat.
The the
What's
mice?
that?
Morta kindred.
I'll keep that in mind. I do very much like freaking out our friends here.
See. Oh goodness. It is. The hour grows late.
Hmm.
You have all done well. It is my request that you continue to do so. However, if you would rather be assigned elsewhere, this can be arranged.
Hmm. I think my time here is just getting started. Don't you think, Dr. Beck?
Yes, indeed. Thank you for your praise, Senor.
See.
I have to say, Philadelphia surely beats Nebraska of all places. A much more vibrant nightlife scene here.
Hmm. It is nicer than even Virginia. I can tell you that much. So, not much is not much is worse than Hampton Roads.
Are you claustrophobic, Senor Knox?
Yes.
For the people at home who did not get the memo about the different sanctuaries in Sanctuary, the Hampton Roads Sanctuary is in the body of an old submarine.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I forgot about that. Oh god.
It's very small. And Chucky was not a fan.
Ironically.
I don't get me wrong. I like being I like being by the water. I like I enjoyed all that, but I have all that here too. I can be by the water. I have my business interests. I have everything that I could need here.
This is so. So it is your desire to remain for at least the immediate future, then.
I'm going to assume as things happened when Praxis is claimed by a different prince, there's going to be a bit of a war. Maybe not a physical war, but generally a war of social maneuvering, and quite frankly, that's what I do best, so I'd rather be here where I know I could be helpful. Senor.
See, it is unlikely that the Camarilla will abjectly object. It is more likely that there will be jihad.
We can handle a little jihad. I've been fighting it my whole life.
Most of us have, which of course distracts from the real war.
At this point, I think the three of us are fairly well enough established. I think we can maybe even make a little gains while we're preparing. Maybe. Who knows? We might even get titles. Imagine Ashton, Toreador Primogen. How would you feel about that, Ashton?
All things considered, absolutely the fuck not. I'd rather not be anywhere near it. I already killed one prince, don't need to go around faffing about with more of their politics. I do it because I have to, not because I like it, Sharky.
I was led to understand that the former court oracle for the previous regime was currently standing as primogen for the Toreador.
And quite frankly, I like her enough. I'd rather keep her there. And keep that interesting fellow as her whip, indeed.
It's a joke. I'm
This
joking.
is this is how you make things happen you don't intend to happen, Sharky. You open your bloody mouth. So I would ask, for the love of sweet, all that is good, holy, right, and wrong in this world, you shut up.
I mean, I feel like if we just suggest she'd retire, she'd do it in an instant. She'd be like, "Oh, somebody else wants my position? Oh, I'd love that. Here you go. Have my responsibilities."
I'm gonna go paint.
Yeah. I mean, literally, she would be happy with that, but I'm not the one to do it, and I definitely don't want to have to deal with her whip becoming Primogen, because I don't think he even wants to be the whip.
Interesting fellow.
Yes.
Him and
Because
Sharky have seemed to have gotten quite close.
intimate, even, which strange times call for strange bedfellows, as it were.
Uh, Hold up. I have not done any such thing with any gentleman from the city. All right? We are just friends. We have just been friends. There has been nothing that has happened beyond that.
Denial is a river in the ocean. Yes,
Did
yes.
you
It's a
did you
river in
give
Egypt, actually.
did you give his name?
I did not, but he goes by the name of Laurent.
Laurent.
Oh, it's a horrid little twink, I believe is what people say. It's descriptor of what he looks like.
Ah,
I think he's quite pleasant, a little unhinged, might have a touch Malkavian in him, but it's
well,
delightful.
the Cathari are hardly picky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the what?
Oh, he's Qatari, by the way. I don't think I told any of you that.
How did you... How would I... Me! Of all people! How did I miss that? Oh, what a shame. No wonder he's delightfully unhinged.
He, did you? You weren't ever in New York, were you, Ash? And that's why you missed it. He's got that. He's got a little bit of Qatari in him, if you know what I mean. Um,
I mean,
I'm.
look, I'm not going to judge for what someone has in them or on them or, whatever. Like I said, strange time calls for strange bedfellows. However, the fact that I didn't pick up on that is a bloody fucking shame.
Ah, I believe it is at least partially former for some of that.
It's
I mean, he's a Camarilla whip. I hope at least that's what he's telling people if someone found out. But that's going to stay between us, I'm sure. Right?
I am fully intending on interrogating him at some point about it. I just haven't gotten the chance to, because we accidentally killed a prince.
I mean, to be fair, we may have accidentally killed a prince in front of someone very important in the Camarilla, but she didn't care. And it seems like it all got swept under the rug, because I have a feeling she didn't like the slimy bastard either.
No, it got swept into a compact.
And he also was impressed by all of us, it seems.
This sounds like a story that requires bloodshed.
It is indeed. Does everyone want a sip?
You know what? I feel like we're going to have a long road ahead of us where partaking of certain substances may not be the most opportune. So yes, give me some, please. I beg. Grabs the flask and takes a shot of it and hands it to Dr. Beck if Dr. Beck wants it.
Dr. Beck will take it and hand it back to Sharky without partaking.
Oh, Dr. Beck is the trip sitter. Okay. Cool.
You're a priest, so you either drink a lot or you drink none at all, and I don't know which is the case for you. So I'm just gonna offer it to you and see if you want some.
I was not a priest, I was a friar.
There is quite
Friars
a
can
difference
drink.
there.
I don't know the difference, I'll be honest.
One of them runs a church, one of them lives in quiet contemplation and study.
So you studied.
See.
So you were like most students, and you this is not your first.
No.
I mean, it usually did, correct me if I'm wrong, Signor, have some kind of religious backing behind it. It's like a monk in a monastery.
See.
Not one of your crazy college parties, Sharky, which I hate. I never had the opportunity to do that in life, but here we are.
I mean,
College.
they
University.
they weren't all they were cracked up to be. I went to one in the 50s.
Oh, what would I give to never have to think about 1950 to 1959? It was literally one of the worst decades ever.
Senora Dillard seems to recall fond memories of the 30s.
The 30s? Oh, did she fall and hit her head? That was a terrible time for me, anyway.
I think every time is a terrible time for you. You're a horrid little twink.
I was indisposed during both of those decades, so I don't know what happened.
The 20s, quite frankly. If we could ever go back to an age of opulence and decadence, I would absolutely love to go back to the 20s. Everything else was a nightmare, but I could go back to the 20s for how decadent it was, honestly.
How old are all of you in this room, really?
I was embraced in the early 1800s in Europe. Or actually, technically, I was embraced in Egypt, but spent a lot of time traveling back.
Dirt.
I'm old enough.
I'm going to take that to mean also old as dirt. And I'm not going to question you, Mr. Fryer. I have a feeling you're probably older than either of these two, so respectable dirt.
I can recall the 1200s.
Oh, so when you say you were a friar, you were that age of. Oh, jeez.
See,
I'm a neonate in an army of Ansela.
led by an elder.
It's quite poetic when you think about it, isn't it, Sharky?
That's why we treat you like a child, Sharky.
Ashton is gonna grab the bottle of bloodshine and take another shot and put it back down on the table.
Sharky's gonna take the bottle and just drink the rest. Just chug it.
I mean, honestly, I'm not old as dirt. I'm not that old, really. When were you? Just out of curiosity, Sharky, since we went around telling you something, I told you a secret. Secret. Why don't you share? How old? When were you embraced?
Alabama, not Alabama.
Well, I didn't say where you were embraced to begin with. Sharky, has the bloodshine gone to your head already, dear?
Honeybee, Kentucky, 1962.
Oh, the '60s were also a great time. I think I was in Europe at that point.
60s. 60s. Do do you mean the 1960s?
Yes, ma'am. Sir.
80?
94. I was 32 years old.
Huh.
So you were actually embraced in the '90s, born in the '60s. Is that what you were saying?
No,
Oh, gotcha.
I was born in 1932. I was embraced in 1964. I know math is hard for you. But
Quite frankly, in my oldest dirt age, apparently, as you put it, I'm too old and gay for math. So, fuck you, respectfully.
I mean, you can probably remember when Pythagoras had developed his theorem, so
That was not me. I was nowhere near close. I'm not as old as that.
I'm not certain.
Oh, fuck off.
But I was born in 1932. Embraced or 19. I have to go back and read my own math. I was born 1930, embraced in 1962, and I've been living my life ever since. Built up a wealthy business empire built on the back of loans and the profit of poor people. And then now here I am.
I,
If it makes you feel any better, Sharky, I too was embraced in the 20th century.
So
That
it,
does that does make me feel slightly better, darling. It really does. You have no idea.
I mean, to be fair, I was embraced in the early part of the 20th century. So you could go fuck right off, Sharky, and he winks over at him.
It don't matter to me. You can all be Ansela if you want. I don't know what that. I don't believe in the whole age meaning power thing anyway. I've killed more than enough Ansela and have one or two elders under my belt with Michelle, but
there is some truth to it. Perhaps not all of it, but there is some.
I mean, I did also watch a sword break on somebody's elbow, so I've seen it, but
Sword broken on an elbow.
Dr. Beck's just going to place his hand on Sharky's shoulder and tap him with one finger. Not
Oh.
saying anything.
Oh, Dr. Beck is threatening to turn me off again.
I mean, I'd much rather them keep you turned on.
This is an inappropriate jest, yes?
No, not actually, not at all. Actually,
Oh,
sort of. I mean, kind
Alas.
of, but
this one misread.
I would never harm anyone from Sanctuary. It goes against my vows.
I don't remember there being any pain when you turned me off the last time. Is that how you get around it?
The emphasis was on harm. You were unharmed. You needed to take a nap.
not wrong. Honestly, it was very justified in that.
And with drunken spin the bottle and apparently truth or dare, this is where we will end our final emissary session of season 2. As always, we're going to introduce ourselves, and I want to make Einar get back on the screen so he can introduce himself. Hey, Einar, darling, there you go. Get back on the screen. And we will, of course, start with our players. So, tell me who you are and where we can find you. Dr. Beck, it's on you.
Hi, I am Das. I play Dr. Beck Abarca. And you can find me on TikTok as Das Brunner, or basically TikTok, Blue Sky, Lemonade, stuff like that. I don't have any meta accounts, so.
And Ashton, who the heck are you? Where can we find you?
Howdy ho, neighborinos. I am Johnny Rosewood. You can find me here on Twitch eventually at some point under Rosewood Productions. Find me on TikTok at that nerd guy, and I am here, there, and everywhere on this app known as Twitch. For sure. So if you know, you know. But yeah, I play Ashton, the glorious British asshole. Yeah.
Mr. Knox, Sharky the Dolphin.
So, hi everybody. This is Chandler Fields. I play Sharky Brand Risk Sharky Dolphin Sharky. I am. You can find me on all the socials as Kingdom 0905. Yeah. Einar?
Hi, I'm Einar. I am the lead storyteller here at Philly by Night. You can find me at most places at Einar_TTRPG, or where the skies are blue at instarsorbit.bsky.social. If you cannot find me somewhere, that's because I don't want you to. And lastly, but not leastly, our wonderful storyteller for the evening.
Oh, you mean me. Hi, I'm G'day. I'm G'day FX pretty much everywhere. That is GHEDE_FX. In a couple places, it's without the underscore, just because I like brand recognition. I can be found here. I can be found on TikTok as G'day_FX. I can be found on the Tuba View at G'day FX all smashed together, and G'day FX all smashed together where the skies are blue. I make different content in different places, so just, be aware of that. I think that's it. I think I got everything. So, just remember, just because we play monsters on a regular basis does not mean that we shouldn't be the light in somebody else's world. Take care of yourselves and each other. And players, we're going to do stuff after we wrap, so please hang out. It won't take too long.